So, following a conversation I had earlier in the week and a post on Reddit about this, which I'll link to in the comments, I want to talk today about cyber insurance and why business leaders need to understand why it's essential, but insurance companies are not necessarily on your side. It's a small piece of the puzzle. So, what's happening at the moment is cyber is rampant, the risk is a nightmare, compliance is completely inadequate, but people are going, we need to mitigate this risk, we'll get insurance. So they get insurance. The insurance companies are getting absolutely hammered with claims. Claims just going up and up, and every year they're like doubling or tripling, and it's just not sustainable. So what they've said, we've got to stop this. We've got to put something in place because the amount of money we're paying out, well, a few years ago was more than they were getting in premiums. But what's happened now is they've started to deploy tools to try and essentially help businesses to control their cyber risk. The problem is these tools are awful. They're the cheapest possible tools that you can get. And what they're designed to do is reduce the risk for the insurance company. So basically they're saying things like, well, you've got these open ports, therefore we won't insure you, or you've got this risk, therefore we won't insure you. So that probably gets rid of the 10% most risky companies that are doing nothing. But it does absolutely nothing to reduce the risk for your business. It seems like it should, but the reality is that because these aren't the best in breed of technologies and they're not doing everything that needs to be done, they're just not sufficient. It's a bit like people misunderstand the difference between vulnerability scanning and pen testing. So pen testing is where you bring in a team of people and they test your network in various different ways and they check where vulnerabilities might lie. Vulnerability assessments is just you scan the network from the outside maybe and you see if you can find any holes. It's a tool that's quite useful for making sure that you're not just leaving the doors and windows wide open, but it's only up 1% of what you need to do to keep your system secure. The same with the security awareness training. There are a lot of the insurance companies are offering security awareness training, but for the ones I've looked at, the quality isn't that great. They've got tools that do vulnerability assessments on devices. And again, I'm really not very impressed with these tools. They've just knocked the standard of the tools that as an MSP we're using. And the real problem that I see is the management team are ignoring their IT team and instead listening to what the insurance companies are saying. So they're saying, we've got this big risk. It's like, well, yeah, but what about all these other things that we need to do? Definitely more important. So in the Reddit post, people talk about, I've had to block certain things that make no sense or stop the insurance company being able to access them, but it doesn't improve the security particularly. So what do you need to do instead? Well, you need some kind of plan. You need a budget and you need to work out what tools you need to mitigate the risk. Letting your insurance company do that for you is not sensible because all they're trying to do is reduce the chances of somebody claiming, and if they do claim, reducing the payout. They're not there to protect your business from a serious incident. We want to stop those incidents from happening in the first place. We don't just want to rely on the insurance for when those incidents take place. So I would strongly advise you to have a cyber roadmap that isn't driven by your insurance company, but is driven by actual business risk, run by actual cyber experts who can advise the business on the best things that they need to be doing. Because you can spend all the money in the world at it, but if your IT team give out the passwords to hackers, if you've left ancient systems running that maybe vulnerability scanner isn't finding, you're leaving your business open to failure. So I hope that makes sense. Have a read of the Reddit article. It's not really aimed for business leaders, but I think there's some interesting discussions about making management team panic. And I don't think that's really the way that we want to be working when it comes to IT leadership. We want to be giving people good, clear advice and a roadmap and a strategy to reduce and mitigate the risk, not randomly pick things out of the air and scream about them. That's just unhelpful. Hope that helps, but do let me know what you think on the comments and what your experience of this has been like. I'm not saying, by the way, that what the insurance company is saying is necessarily wrong. I'm just saying it may not be the priority. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. I'll speak to you soon.